everybody, what's going on? What is going on? So, I know I've been gone for a while, but there's a lot of things that they turned around and they draw me back in. So, today, we're going to talk about the lefties over here tripping out over Sydney Sweeney and her American Eagle ad. And let me tell you something. I remember that doggone deodorant commercial, and I was like, she's pretty. But I never really paid attention to her now until lefties done turned around and done blew up over this ad, over the American Eagle ad. Let's look at this. Let's look into this. Let's go ahead and look into this.
You're watching Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner. Here with my co-host Emily Campagno. Also joining us today, Molly Line, Fox News correspondent, Kennedy, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, and Larry Kudlow, host of Kudlow on Fox Business. Thumbs up to Larry. Okay, we have brand new reaction now from President Trump, who has had enough of the woke mob going after Sydney Sweeney. This weekend, the left took their anti-Sweeney extremism to a new level. They doxed the details of her voter registration. Now, whether or not you're registered to a party is public.
So they doxed the details of her being a Republican. Okay, and?
For is not. But whether you vote according to how you registered is gettable. So we'll just put that out there. It all turned out to be that she's a registered Republican. And then they made a negative connection between her GOP affiliation and the American Eagle ad. Oh boy, here they go.
And listen, yeah, we gonna clap for that. Because they can be mad all they want. They can be mad all they want.
Here's how the president initially reacted when finding out Sydney Sweeney has been a registered Republican since last year.
President,
come on, cuz. Really? Y'all gonna do this with the ads? Y'all gonna really do this with the ads? Come on.
This isn't outsourcing. It's
after Sydney Sweeney, it came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican. Any thoughts on that?
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ads. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised. Wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
Today, the president took his defense of Sydney Sweeney a step further, writing on Truth Social, Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad. Go get him, Sydney. On the other side of the ledger, Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement. That is a total disaster. The CEO just resigned in disgrace, and the company is in absolute turmoil. Being woke is for losers. Larry Kudlow.
You have to start here, don't you? Hottest ad is exactly. You'd be amazed at who are Republicans.
Yeah.
People you know. and maybe even sit near you. Who knows? On the bus, on the subway, out on the streets. People come up and say, I am a Republican. It's an amazing thing. Most extraordinary thing I've ever seen. She's a beautiful woman. By the way, she also is apparently a good gunshot.
Yes.
She's a rifle person. So that makes her even hotter. Ad. I have to watch what I say here, but
You're doing okay. You said ad.
It's just an ad. It's a hot ad. She must be an all-American woman. I can't wait to meet her. We're going to invite her for the Kudlow show.
We're going to. Oh, okay. We can come back.
I also know she's an expert on fiscal policy, and she loves tax cuts as a good supply sider. I'm just hypothesizing.
You know, Kennedy, it must have been an extra rub, though, for Democrats, because she became a registered Republican during a presidential year that they lost.
Yes. And I've worked at my polling place for many, many years, and we used to have to call out which ballot to give them. It was like Republican, Democrat, and some people were like, you know, like they were being outed in a nefarious brothel. But it really is okay to vote with your conscience. And some places, depending on where you live, you have to have a party affiliation. And that's the one she chose. She probably grew up around fun, rational parents, not a bunch of party pooper progressives. I don't know what woman in their 20s would want to date progressive men right now. I mean, they are the absolute worst. So I actually think, you know, not that she had any problems on the romantic front, but I think this has really opened up many more possibilities for her. But to your point at the beginning of the show, going woke has been horrible for business. Just look at it, and just like that, the Sex and the City reboot, it was canned after 3 seasons because it was really boring and they tried to jam so much messaging down people's throats. It became impossible to watch. Who was on the headline, the main headline on New York Post Online? Gayle King. They're like, she's too expensive, too woke. Ratings have tanked. They're down 30% in the demo over just a year. So American Eagle may be carving a path for many other advertisers, and they may be seeing that this could be extremely profitable leaning into the division, which could actually bring people together, oddly enough.
Emily.
Yeah, and what I see from this is the same tired play being executed by the left, but all the rules have changed. We don't succumb actually to cancel culture anymore. Doxing is actually horrific. It's actually great to be a Republican now. People are proud of it. And I think we've come such a long way from the knee-jerk apology written by a general counsel from someone that accidentally proclaimed their faith or accidentally was their faith or accidentally was honest in an interview. So bravo, American Eagle, for saying, actually, it's just about genes. Bravo, Sydney Sweeney, for being herself and authentic. And those of us who have been following Tearing Tactical for so long, I mean, they are incredible. They are the creme de la creme of firearms training and weaponry. And so to see her align with them too, it's like, yeah, to the rest of the world, to those liberal, sort of incendiary, want to be kill the beast, woke mobsters, welcome to the real world. This is rational, free-thinking America now, and Sydney Sweeney is going to go much further than all of them while trying to cancel her.
And Taylor Swift, by the way, was booed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was part
Fox
of Trump's
carried it.
tweet.
All right.
I just want to put that.
So I agree. The doxing thing, when we heard, oh, she's a Republican, as this was being revealed, I had the same feeling that this felt like doxing to me. And the way the media is covering this non-scandal scandal. Here's a headline out of The Guardian. It'll be carnage. Why Sydney Sweeney's risky political moment may backfire. This wasn't a moment This wasn't a moment she grabbed to be political. She, she's a gorgeous model, talented actress that did a jeans ad, which, by the way, remember when everything was sexy and scandalous and you go back to the Pepsi commercial? She is buttoned up and covered up like she's going to go paint a house. This isn't even crazy or there's just nothing here that is controversial, but it's being created.
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember specifically, but wasn't Brooke Shields topless in the Calvin Klein ad?
15 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
That was the issue with that. And yes, she was topless.
Okay.
And, to Larry's point, Taylor Swift, Mrs. Billionaire Influencer, she endorsed Kamala, and that turned out to be the anvil.
She booed for quite a while in the Super Bowl. Trump went in there and was cheered like crazy. I mean, it really was a difference. The tide has turned. Was Brooke Shields a Republican, by the way? I didn't know how did she get into this
I don't think she is now, but don't worry. She'll have a nice reset.
She comes from a very old family.
I popped into the American Eagle store right here in Times Square over the weekend to just see if anything had changed or if they were doing anything differently. The Sydney Sweeney ad is right there at the beginning when we walk in. And her jean, the one she helped design,
the store was
with
mobbed.
the butterfly motif, which, by the way, is about domestic violence and is raising money for domestic violence, is right there at the front with the little butterfly motif if you're into that.
Was the store mobbed? Everyone's running to go in there?
It was busy in there. Yeah.
Busy.
And the other thing is the rest of the posters and ads on the wall picture women of all different colors and races. And, Sydney Sweeney was just on the poster at the beginning of the store. But when you walk around, very diverse staff.
What's the moral of the story for this segment? Republicans are hot.
Okay, we're moving on.
That's the way I look
Love
at
it. Not wrong.
Oh, no.
Not wrong, Larry.
We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me.
And so we're gonna have to admit, I'm liking the way things are going. So I never really had a big problem with that ad. I don't know why everybody else blew it up the way that they did. I actually think she's pretty, but other than that, we're gonna sit here and we finna watch some lefties and some liberals, cause you know we can't go without liberal tears. You know what I'm saying? We can't go without sitting here watching liberals sit there boo-hoo-whining and crying. Boo-hoo-whining and crying when about everything in the world. So we're going to, what the hell is Google? Yeah. So we're going to basically check out, a bunch of liberals boo-hoo-whining and crying. I never understood why they try to make this thing an entire race thing. Like the messaging was racist and stuff like that. I'm like, it's just jeans, bro. It's just jeans. And now you get liberals trying to sit here and say, we're going to boycott. Mind you, American Eagle jeans, their size only go up to what, like 20, 25, size 20, size 25, whatever. So fat liberals are not, that is not going to hurt them anyways. It's not going to hurt them anyways. Because their size jeans, their jean size only goes up to 20, 25. So they are going to make their money no matter what. And I did see a little bit of the ad for Beyonce, the Levi ad, which nobody has a problem with. I think Beyonce was beautiful in that ad as well too. But here's the thing. The problem is liberals who are always fussing about white supremacy, white genetics this, white Nazi this, Nazi that. And honestly, I gotta tell y'all, to black folk, y'all need to just stop following and listening to these white liberals because they make everything about race. They make everything about race, and y'all fall for it all the time. Y'all fall for it all the time. And y'all fall for it all the time. Democrats get up here, they talk about racism and white supremacy. Oh, they're going to take away your rights. Oh, you ain't going to be able to vote. They're going to take away your Medicaid. They're going to take away your Medicare. The sky's going to start falling. The earth's core is going to start cracking open. All of this stuff. Every time Republicans get a hold of the White House, it's going to be the end of the world. They are going to put black people back into slavery. And guess what? You idiots still continue to fall for it all the time. You vote against your own best interests. A lot of y'all have conservative views, but you don't vote conservative. That don't make any sense. That don't make any sense. A lot of y'all have conservative views, but you don't vote conservative. That do not make any sense. It don't make any sense whatsoever. How do you have conservative perspectives, but you still vote Democrat? You still vote liberal? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. And you know what? Let's go ahead and we're gonna have to look into some things. Oh, now this ain't gonna want to show because this dumbass computer. You know, I never really get that. I never really understand that whatsoever. And it's like you can't make this stuff up. You can't. You just can't make this stuff up at all. Yeah, so all right, you guys, we are going to look at this. I mean, just look at this. Watch this.
You're complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
I feel like Sydney Sweeney getting canceled for Yahtzee propaganda should have been on everyone's bingo card at this point. But believe it or not, it does keep getting worse because they have continued to drop more ads over the last few days. And today I'm going to show you the most horrific and problematic one. As always, make sure you like, rage, comment, repost, and follow along for more. But if you're not already up to date, here's what's going on. This week, Sydney Sweeney launched an ad campaign with American Eagle that is very clearly white propaganda. And in any other timeline, it might have been less noticeable, but given the current climate of things, it is extremely obvious, and it has garnered them a lot of attention, and even their stocks have gone up because of it. This shouldn't really be a shock. In the past, we've seen her with her family members who are all clearly red hat people. In the moment, some people gave her a pass for that, obviously, because you can't choose your family, but her silence since then, and this campaign with American Eagle now really seals the deal with where she's at. Obviously, the campaign goes beyond just a bunch of photos and videos in which she's wearing jeans where none of them seem to fit, which was an odd choice. But every single ad is specifically emphasizing this double entendre with the word jeans, saying that Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. That is said throughout the ads over and over and over again, and they could have chosen a number of angles to go about this campaign, but saying that about a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman right now who's dressed all like Yeehaw America, that says a lot. It's pretty obviously promoting European centrism, and it has everyone up in arms about it. But their most recent video is the most obvious and the most, like, you can't argue this anymore. Like, you know what you're doing. And I obviously have my thoughts and opinions on it, but I'll let you watch it and just form your own.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not going to believe us until we're hung out there. But then, even then, I feel like they'll be like, oh no. Kind of like they are with. I see the same perpetual self imposed victimhood. You know, I did a post about saying, hey, like, these are the action steps that we really need to see from the good whites. Where I said, I need protection, put my cash out. And she goes, well, would you just rather white women just not follow you at all anymore? Because, da, da, da. And I'm like, yeah, definitely unfollow me. If you thought you being here and clicking a follow button was doing me a favor, same as that one guy, whatever his name was. Descendant of the oppressor. He's like, well, Lindsay still does a good job and I appreciate her work and labor, so I'm going to still follow her. No, definitely unfollow me. If you are any type of person, but especially a white woman who's coming to this platform thinking you're doing me a favor by clicking a follow button, leave now. Immediately now.
We are actually doing you a fucking damn favor, because if you didn't have any followers, your ass wouldn't have a TikTok. Your ass would not be going viral. Your ass would not be heard of, okay? So, yeah. But see, I couldn't, bruh, I don't know. Is it me? I couldn't be with no woman that's gonna sit there and cry about everything. I couldn't be with no woman that's gonna sit there and cry about everything. Like, get a grip. Get over it. So what? She looks good. She's pretty. The end. It's a fucking gene ad. Ain't nobody hanging up. Listen, ain't nobody hanging up anything. Yo, I just got reminded. For those of y'all, remember what they tried to say about the Timberland boots back in 2015? Remember what they tried to say about the Timberland boots back in 2015? And what they say? They said the branches on the little emblem on the side of the Timberland boots represents the hanging of black people. They literally said that. I remember that. They literally said that. And they had me thinking that it was true. Now, it's like nowadays, it's 2024, 2025. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this shit. I got sick and tired of it. But yeah, remember when they tried to do that to Timberland? The Timberland boots? I was like, nowadays it's just like, I'm just laughing at them like, really? This what y'all still on this? Y'all gonna die on this hill, huh? Y'all are going to cry and die on this hill. Ain't y'all? Y'all gonna die on the hill of racism and white supremacy, and everything is systematic racism, and everything is about the oppressed black woman and the oppressed black man and all this and that and the third. And you know what gets me? Liberal ass goddamn men. They be following behind these liberal women, these liberal minded women, who 9 times out of 10 hate them because they hate the patriarchy and they hate men as well too. But they still, somehow we find simps always, I'm gonna kiss up to the woman, I'm gonna kiss up to the women. Women empowerment. This will never get old. This will never, you wanna know why it will never get old? Because this is a hill that they will continue to die on. This is a hill that they will continue to die on. But like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this right here. So we finna go ahead and go to the next one, okay? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Apple just invested not $100 billion, but $600 billion into manufacturing here in the U.S. But here we go. We got liberals over here fabricating the story and basically looking down on Apple and talking about boycott Apple. And Tim Cook is taking the L because he done kissed the ring of Donald Trump. Take a look.
Let's talk about what happened. Tim Cook walked into the Oval Office yesterday and pathetically groveled in front of President Trump. He handed Trump a glass plaque sitting in a solid gold base and thanked him for his leadership. Yeah, you heard that right.
Bond was made in the U.S.
It's funny how he's sitting there talking about Apple, but the very microphone that he is using right now, isn't that made from Apple? Isn't that made by Apple? Look at the microphone that he's using right now. Isn't that made by Apple? And hold on, am I not tripping out? Don't he have the Apple microphone and he's sitting there talking? Let me make sure I get it right. Let me make sure I get this right. Let me make sure I get this right. This man got the mini microphone. Ain't that made by Apple?
This glass comes on the Corning line. It's a unique unit of one. And the base comes from Utah.
Gross, I know. After handing him the plaque with the gold base, he
This
pledged to
man
invest
literally has a
$100
mini
billion
microphone
in
made
American
by Apple.
manufacturing, on top of the 500
And you
billion
talking
sold.
about how pathetic
You heard
Tim
that
Cook
right. Another
is.
billionaire tech CEO bowing down to Trump like he's some kind of emperor or king. And Trump, just the usual, standing there smug, silent, letting it all wash over him. This wasn't business, and this wasn't diplomacy. This was a performance of loyalty. A golden tribute for a wannabe autocrat. The worst part is, it probably worked. This is how power protects itself in America. Not with truth and courage, but with gold, ego, and obedience. This wasn't leadership, this was servitude, and it was sickening. Drop a flame in the comments if you're tired of CEOs bending the knee to President Trump. Stay informed, not inflamed, and always vote like the planet depends on it.
So, what he just said was clearly, what he just said was complete fabrication because it was about business, and we gonna go there. We gonna go there. Let's pull up another screen because we got another thing to look at. Clearly, it was about business. Because as I said before, before this doggone video, I said not 100 billion, but $600 billion investment towards U.S. manufacturing. So this was definitely totally about business. But let the little boys tell you, oh, he's just kissing up the Trump. He's just kissing up the Trump. He's just kissing up the Trump. These people hate the president, hate the president so doggone much that they will sacrifice the country that they live in. That they will sacrifice the country that they live in. I don't understand how you can hate a president, a leader, so doggone much to the point where you can't even get a credit where credit is due. The man got $600 billion investment towards America. That's going to create over millions of jobs. Are you kidding me? But let these people turn around and keep listening to the doggone liberal media. And the liberal media, MSDNC, NBC, China News Network, and all of them, they're going to sit there and fabricate the story. They're not going to sit there and tell you, oh, he invested $600 billion. No. They're going to say, oh, he invested $100 billion. That's not, and try to play it off like that's not much at all. The man invested $600 billion. Apple is investing $600 billion into manufacturing, into U.S. manufacturing. But these freaking liberals, they hate Trump and the Republicans so much that they can't even give credit when credit is due. I have never seen such retardation in my life. I've never seen this much retardation in my life. Do you know what that's going to do? That is going to create jobs here in America. And you people are trying to downplay it. You people are trying to downplay it. This is why I walked away. This is exactly why I walked away. This is why I walked away in 2024. Y'all lost me for real. Y'all lost me with the Sydney Sweeney ad, the always me, and white supremacy this, white supremacy that, and now this. You can't stand the president to the point where you can't even give credit where credit is due. You know what? Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's watch this video real quick.
You know this gentleman, one of the truly great legends of our time, my book. Before we begin, I'd like to say a few words about the shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia. As you know, 5 people were seriously wounded and 2 very, very seriously hurt around 11 o'clock this morning. The shooter is now in custody, and the Army Criminal Investigation Division is on site to ensure that the perpetrator of this atrocity, which is exactly what it is, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The entire nation is praying for the victims and their families, and hopefully they'll fully recover, and we can put this chapter behind, but we're not going to forget what happened. We're going to take very good care of this person that did this, horrible person. This afternoon, we're pleased to welcome to the White House one of the great and most esteemed business leaders and geniuses and innovators anywhere in the world, Apple CEO Tim Cook. Amazing job. Thanks as well to Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick for being here, wherever you may be. Oh, there you are. Hello, fellas. I missed you. Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country all roaring to life. Areas that were not doing so well are doing very well. We have about $17 trillion coming into the United States, which is more than ever before. That's never even come close. There's never been anything like it. Even you, that's even a lot of money for you. But we have commitments of more than $17 trillion. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and Samsung, who all deal in that world. As part of this historic commitment, Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone and will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, which is actually, I did very well there. I like it because I did very well there. I did very well in Kentucky, but it's a great place. You're going to be very happy. I thought maybe while we're up, I'll interrupt my own speech by you might show them a little bit about the product that you're going to be doing in Kentucky, Tim.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I step up?
Yes, please.
This bond was made in the U.S., California, and this glass comes on the boarding.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work management platforms are the same. Monday.com is the one
you... For corporal, a former one that works at Apple now.
He's done well.
Designed it for you. And the base comes from Utah and is 24 karat gold. And it sits, I'll take the liberty of setting it up.
Wow.
Well, there we go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic. Great people of Kentucky. You're going to find it a great place to do business, too. It's fantastic. Isn't that nice? We're doing these things now in the United States instead of other countries, faraway countries. This is a significant step toward the ultimate goal of ensuring that iPhones sold in the United States of America also are made in America. With the mass infusion of capital it's announcing today, Apple will also build a 250,000 square foot server manufacturing facility in Houston and invest billions of dollars to construct data centers across the country from North Carolina to Iowa to Oregon. That's big stuff. Apple will also open state-of-the-art manufacturer economy. It's going to be a manufacturing academy in Detroit, and that's a great place to do. Well, you know, big things are happening in Michigan and Detroit. They're coming in because of what we've done with the, I call it the great, big, beautiful bill. I added one word, great. But we have probably the biggest, most comprehensive piece of legislation ever passed. It's going to mean unbelievable numbers of jobs and no jobs on, think of this, whether it's tips or overtime or Social Security, no tax. So no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And there's just a small bit of it. For Apple and others businesses, we're talking about the deductions and all of the things. And actually for people that go out and buy a car, first time it's ever been done, we talk about deductions for companies, but they're going to be able to deduct interest when they borrow money to buy a car if it's made in America. It has to be made in America. So it is amazing. And one of the reasons I think I can say that Apple's coming here is the legislation we just passed with this kind of investment. Apple will also open other facilities, rare earth magnets from Texas, and build. Oh, I love that you're doing this. I love that. I love that. And build a brand new rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass, California. I know that area. That's where they have a lot of truly rare earth. That's fantastic. I love that. And Apple will help develop and manufacture semiconductors and semiconductor equipment in Texas, Utah, Arizona, and New York. For years, Americans have watched as many of our leading tech giants built their factories overseas and exported American jobs abroad. But under the Trump administration, we're doing everything possible to make this the best place on earth to build a factory or grow businesses. I'm allowing them to build electric producing plants with their factory, because otherwise they'd have to hook into the grid. And I think it's one of the biggest things we've done, where you can build, Tim, your own electricity. You become your own electric manufacturer, and that goes along with the plant. So you become a utility. So congratulations, now you're in the utility. I hope they don't value your company based on utility, but that's okay. You're going to be making your own electricity. And as you probably know, for much of this and many of the things that we're doing, especially the AI, they would need actually double the electricity that the country now produces for everything. So it's massive electric, and they're going to be able to make their own, and they're getting very fast approvals. Lee Zeldin is doing a fantastic job, including with a 100% expensing on the one big, beautiful bill. In return, we're asking our businesses to invest in America, and they're coming in at levels that we've never seen before. So I don't know when it shows up, but there are a lot of factories and a lot of plants that are either under construction or soon will be starting construction. So can't tell you exactly when, but I want to be around in about a year from now and 2 years from now, because we're going to see an explosion, I think, like this country has never seen before. Never. Today's announcement is one of the largest commitments in what has become among the greatest investment booms in our nation's history. And we've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. You know, I told you the story that, and Tim, I'll tell you, but I went to the Middle East and I was with Qatar, I was with UAE and the King of Saudi Arabia, all great leaders. And then I went to NATO and saw many great leaders, and we just finished that about 4 weeks ago. Virtually everyone said, in effect, that we were a dead country 1 year ago. America, this was a dead country. We were dying, we were dead. And now you've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. This would have never happened except for certain people. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. NVIDIA is investing $5.
Okay, so see, now I'm pretty sure y'all heard enough. I'm pretty sure y'all heard enough. Okay? So, I don't understand why not give the man credit where it's due. Okay? But liberals are going to continue dying on this hill. They're going to continue down on this hill, and I'm here for it because I'm back on the trail of getting on their behinds. And listen, I got a cup right here for those liberal tears. I got a cup right here for this liberal tears, okay? Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.